State audit revealed some issues with how the town of Pitcairn spent money between 2022 and 2024. The state comptroller's office reviewed 170 claims the town made in that time and found problems with 96 claims for a total of about $208,000. The issues included payments made with no evidence of an audit and lack of adequate supporting documents, which the report says increases the risk for money to be spent improperly. The report also says about $67,000 in claims for diesel fuel and a roughly $100,000 paving claim were paid without evidence. The town board looked for competitive rates. It also notes the town improperly donated money to a volunteer group and paid a private company's utility bill. Now, the state comptroller, which does the audits, Tom DiNapoli, his office, and we talked with Mr. DiNapoli, and he says that these audits are done to help out communities.
It's meant to be a learning tool. It's meant to promote efficiency. I love it when we have no particular findings, right? Everything's going smoothly. But most of our audits will point out some opportunity to improve government operations. And so I always tell the local officials, it's not meant to be a gotcha. It's really meant to help you do your job even better.
The comptroller's office made several recommendations to the town, which the report says the town agreed with, and officials plan to begin making corrections. Now, we reached out to town officials there at the town of Pitcairn, but we did not get any call back.